everybody, it's Avery. So for today's video, I always get a lot of questions asking me about my online school experience, so I decided to do like a little Q&A about it. This year, my school experience has been kind of weird. I started off at public, then I went back to online, then I went back to public school, and then I'm back at online. Every time I do a broadcast on YouNow, a lot of the questions are about like my school and stuff. So instead of just saying it every single time on YouNow, I just decided to answer your guys' questions about it. So I asked you guys to ask me questions about anything that you had questions about for my school on Twitter, so now I'm going to answer them. Alexandra says, what is your fave and least favorite thing about it? So I would have to say my favorite thing about doing online school is that I can do it whenever I want. So if I want to have like a free day to film a video like today, I can get a little bit ahead, and then the next day I'm totally free because I'm all caught up on my assignments. My least favorite thing about it is that there's not really like a connection between like students and teachers. Like you can obviously like email them, or there's a little spot where you can like leave them a message, so it's just like easier to find. But one of my favorite things about public school was like having conversations with the teachers. Like at my old school when I lived in Southern Utah, I had some amazing teachers, and they made school like such like a fun thing, because I know school, like everyone's like, oh, school sucks, but like I actually really enjoyed school when I lived in Southern Utah. But then once I moved, the teachers at the public school here like really sucked. Like I didn't learn anything. Yeah, that's one thing that I really don't like, is that you don't really like talk with a class or like a teacher. Savannah says, what do you miss about regular school? I actually really miss public school like a lot. Like I definitely would be going to public school if the one here wasn't so bad. Like next year I'll be like going into a real high school, so I definitely think that I'm going to like not do online next year. So like I said, one thing I really miss is just like being around, like being in a classroom, especially when you have like a really fun class. Like last year, my language arts class was so much fun. We had so many fun people in there, and they were all like really smart, and we just like debated about things all the time, and it was seriously just like one of my favorite things ever, and I really miss that. Angeline says, how do you do the math work? Do you print it out? And yes, there's just like a bunch of assignments, and like attached with them they have like a little, probably like 6 to 7 minute YouTube video like explaining it, and then you just print out the worksheet, snap a picture of it, upload it to your computer, and then like attach it as a file. So that's how I do math. For every like online system, I'm sure it's different, but that is how I do my math. A lot of you guys ask this question, so this one is from Helen, and she says, is it less time consuming? And that totally depends on you. So I am taking 7 classes. I only had to take like 4, I think, but I am trying to graduate early, so I'm taking, I don't know if I'm taking 2 or 3 extra classes. So since I am taking extra classes, it obviously takes longer, but it's honestly totally up to you. It depends how like motivated you are. Like if you can just sit there for, like if you just sit there for like a good like 4 hours, you can totally get it all done. But if you kind of like space it out, then it will obviously like take you longer. So like yesterday I did it for so long, but I had like little breaks in between. So it felt like I was doing it all day, but total I probably did it for like 5 hours. But for some things you can multitask. Like last semester I had to do a book report. So I listened to a book through Audible while I was doing all of my other assignments, who is actually sponsoring this video, so thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. So if I had to recommend a book for you guys to try, I would recommend Fahrenheit 451. It's one of those books that like really make you think, and like every single thing in the book is like really symbolic, so you really have to think about like why this person is doing this, what does this mean? Or if you don't want to try out that book, Audible has a lot of different book titles that you can choose from. Audible also has a bunch of different apps, so you can get it for like every device. So like I said, if you want to try that out, that is audible.com/Avery. Bethany asks, how much did it cost and was it worth it? So mine was actually free. If you want to take summer classes, they do cost something, but just for like the regular school year, it was free. And was it worth it? I mean, I guess. Like, I don't really know how to answer that, because like it's school. I would have gone to public school if it wasn't so, like if I didn't have such a bad like experience there. Faith says, do you have choices as to what classes you take? So obviously classes like math and language arts and just stuff like that are required. But like I said, I did get to choose a couple extra classes. The extra classes that I took are PE. So in your freshman year, you only have to do PE for half the year, but I did it for a whole year, so now I'm like ahead in PE credits. I also took a financial lit class and a health class, so I think those were my 3 extra classes that I took. Kiston says, do you miss seeing your friends and having the normal school life? So I definitely do. It's kind of weird because I made more friends once I left school. I don't really know how. I had like one really close friend, and then she just kind of invited me to hang out, and so we kind of built like this little friend group. So I definitely have made more friends since I left, which is really weird. But I definitely do miss the school environment. I know there's obviously things that I don't miss, like dress code and rude people and bad teachers and really big tests and stuff like that. But I definitely do miss like being in a classroom and just like hanging out with your friends before the bell rings and just like hanging out at lunch and stuff. Angel says, how did you make your parents say yes to online school? My mom could just kind of see like how, like, this is gonna sound like really dramatic, but like how miserable I was at school. I don't know, she could really just see how unhappy I was at school and that I just wasn't learning anything. I just really don't think that she liked me like suffering at school every day. Like I would literally text her every day and be like, I'm crying in the bathroom, can you come pick me up? And she'd be like, I guess. Abigail says, would you recommend it? If you are really struggling in school and it's just really awful for you and you just really hate it, like really, really bad, then I would recommend it. But if you're kind of just like, oh, I want to try it, like my school isn't like my favorite thing, because it's no one's like favorite thing. But if you are like content with your public school, then I would recommend that you stay there. But if you are really, really struggling and your school just makes you miserable, then I would recommend it. Caroline says, do you ever think you'll go back to public school? Yes, next year, since I'm going to an actual high school, I am planning on going back. I was kind of debating it, but I really want to go back. Savannah says, what classes do you take online? So I will read all of them off of my computer. So I have Fitness for Life, which is PE, Financial Literacy, Health, Earth Science, Geography, Language Arts, and Math. So those are the 7 classes that I take. So that is going to be all the questions that I will answer today. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped any of you out who are thinking about doing online school, or if you just kind of want to know what it's like. If you have any more questions about online school, make sure to comment them down below and I will do my best to answer all of them. And also, don't forget to go check out Audible. Once again, my link is audible.com/Avrey. Great service. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Hey. I could spend forever loving you, fending for the right to be the penmanship you love to use. The similes and metaphors I only think you're better for, cause I've been on this